Outlook.
Hi, I'm Roland Leggett and I'm a modern workplace specialist here at Insight Australia. In today's session, I want to look at Outlook. Now, you know Outlook, you love it. I mean, who doesn't get enough emails? You know, everybody wants, nobody wants more emails. So what we want to do is look at how we can streamline management of those emails. Many of us spend our time in what I call email jail. You come back from holiday, there's 473 unread emails, and you spend the next 3 days plowing through your emails. Now, when we're looking at Outlook and managing of your emails, there's a few key points that I want to drive home. You don't have to reply to an email with an email. You could reply with an instant message. You could reply with a Teams meeting request. You could reply with a group chat that came through in Teams. There's also a couple of other components that we want to look at. Things like quick parts in Outlook, where we can insert predetermined text automatically into an email. Often we have to reply with the same answer to multiple different people. How can we streamline that process? We're also going to look at taking something that arrives in your inbox and sharing that in Teams instead of copying and pasting and recreating it in Teams. We'll look at things like creating polls, an update of the old voting buttons for those of you who used to use the voting buttons in Outlook. We'll look at creating forms using those polls, and also find time, which will streamline setting up meetings with multiple people by being able to crowdsource the perfect time for the meeting. So let's go and check out how to optimize your usage of Outlook. So here I am in Outlook, and email's not going away. You know, even though Teams is going to be our primary communication and collaboration tool, email is still going to be really important to us. So I just want to show you a few of my favorite tips and tricks in Outlook. Firstly, I see I've got an email coming in here from Roland Leggett regarding a shared services question. Now I could choose to do what we always do, reply or forward, but look at the small icons right next to it here. I've got the option to reply with the meeting. So if somebody requests a meeting, I can reply directly with a meeting. Okay, I've also got the option to reply with an instant message or a chat. On this drop down box here, it'll allow me to reply to either everybody or just the individual who sent the email with an instant message. I also have an option to call the person who sent me the message. So in the event that you've integrated with your cloud-based PBX through Teams, you should be able to call this person on their mobile, on their landline, or alternatively direct in Teams. Talking about Teams, if this email should really have been sent in Teams, I can choose to share it directly with the team. At that point, I'll get a list of the teams that I'm using regularly and share that email directly with the team. So it'll now send that whole email into my Teams environment so everybody in my Teams chat can see it. Now, I've got this email from Roland Leggett, and he is requesting some information about shared services. I'm going to reply to him, but this is an email that I have to reply to quite regularly. So in this case, I'm just going to Control V and post the answer in there, but I could create a shortcut for this. So to create a shortcut for this, I'm going to use a thing called Quick Parts. Quick Parts is one of my favorite things in Outlook because it allows us to use repeatable text with keywords, almost like a macro. So I highlight the text, I get a Quick Parts, and I say save the selected text with Quick Parts. I have to give it a name. The key here is to make sure that the name is 5 characters or longer, and it'll allow us to quickly insert that into another email. I could send that email, but if I got the same question again from somebody else, I could simply go in and I called it shared. And as I get to the 4th character, it says, Roland, would you like to insert that text that you've created previously around shared services. By hitting enter, it'll automatically inject that text for me. So quick and easy ways of using repeatable information. Now, if I wanted to create another email and insert other content, in this case, in the body of the message, I might want to insert a screenshot. So I could say screenshot, and what I could do then is go directly to screen clipping. People don't realize this is available directly in Outlook. I see them using the clipping tool, and I'm like, you could just clip that directly from Outlook. So here we can see what I'm covering at the moment is a series of objectives for this video, and I've inserted it directly from my PowerPoint into the Outlook. I could also go through and I could select to insert a poll. So I could insert a poll, business card, signature file. Okay, we've got another tool which is called Find Time, where we can go through and we can look at everybody's calendars to try and find a time that is available to us. It's like the scheduling assistant to the largest degree. Okay, some other things. If I click on the File tab, a couple of things to try and make us more productive. If I go down to my Options menu, within Options, first thing I want to look at is the Mail tab. Now, when you get notifications regarding messages, sometimes they can interrupt your day, interrupt your flow of work. Here, I can choose to limit what happens when I get a new message. So I may choose to limit the sound and display on my desktop, or play a sound and not display on my desktop. Another key productivity tool is under Calendar, and it's round about shortening your meetings. Okay, so my settings are if the meeting is less than 1 hour, okay, or if it's longer than 1 hour. If it's less than 1 hour, my half an hour meeting is going to be 25 minutes. If it's longer than 1 hour, I might say, well, let's make it 15 minutes shorter. And what I often do then is I start my meetings 1/4 the hour and finish them on the hour. And that gives people attending the meeting just a little opportunity for a break. I find when I've got meetings adjacent to each other all during the day, it can be very taxing. So these are a few of my favorite things within Outlook. I strongly recommend implementing them. There's a whole bunch more things we can do as well, but these are my top tips. So that's some best practices for managing Outlook and managing your email. Now, don't forget, my top tip is going into your meeting options and shortening that meeting. You know, we have these hour-long meetings. Let's turn every hour-long meeting into a 45-minute meeting. Let's turn every half an hour meeting into a 25-minute meeting. What I don't want to see is adjacent back-to-back meetings the whole day. That really takes the wind out of your sails. So make sure you have a break between your meetings. Thank you very much for joining me on this session.